Peace to the gods and the goddesses. This video is going to be about community and its sacred purpose. So, as we sit here in this current period or moment in time, whenever you're watching this video, because time is nonlinear, of course, it's important to realize that as we, the new priesthood of the collective unconscious, the new priesthood of the new age, exist within this timeline, our energetic connections matter. And here's why. There's a biblical verse, not religious, but there's a biblical verse that says, when two or three are in the midst, I am here, or the Lord is here. And what this basically means is this, on an esoteric level. As we come together as a community, we enhance the power of the collective, and we embody our godhood. We exchange codes of information and knowledge to one another to wake each other up on a very subtle yet apparent level. And as we have people stepping further into their light, their gifts, their magic, and their essence, you're going to see that basic interactions with people, even in comments, even in messages, has heavy weight, and it activates the soul on a deep level. And this is important because as we usher forth this communication and connection within ourselves, we begin to shape a newfound grid for divine communication, community, and family in the higher realms, in the 5D, and even in the 3D. It's a whole multidimensional process. We're essentially training the collective consciousness and source, because source does evolve with us. Source exists outside of time. Source is everything. So source is experiencing reality through us. And right now, source wants to experience divine soul family, genuine soul connections that elevate the soul and help people transform into their highest selves and highest timelines. Because from this point onward, we're on the timeline of ascension. Anybody that's not ascending is descending. And in and of itself, that's an important principle, because you have to descend to rise. You have to access the underworld, reclaim your shadow keys, and unlock the gates of your soul to ascend to the sun. But back to the focus of community, it's important to realize that in having a spiritual community, you're serving the mission of elevating not just yourself as you exchange information and you gain new codes, but you're transferring those codes, those seeds, those vibrations to another soul, and they send that off to another soul as they speak to them, and so on and so forth. It's a feedback loop of high vibrational resonance. We are we're the antibodies of the collective unconscious right now. So we have a very big role in detoxifying basically everything just by existing. And this is why your authenticity is very prized. And if you're not living in your power, there's no wait. You got to get in your bag immediately. When it comes to the topic of spiritual community in another light, I was thinking a lot about emotional maturity, sovereign communication, and the ability to hold space for another soul and see them for who they are, meet them for who they are, and even if you don't fully understand them, take time to appreciate and acknowledge their presence and where they're at in their journey. Often than not, the chosen ones, people who are anointed and walk this path genuinely, they're set apart from the rest of the world. They don't really connect with a ton of people like that, even if they're outgoing and expressive. And this is because our energy is sacred, and as such, it's so high vibrational that oftentimes we feel misunderstood, and we often go the path of independence. For many of you, the path of hyper independence. But now there's a softening agent being brought forth within the collective. As I say this, we're currently in the transit of Jupiter and I think Venus, both in Cancer, or Jupiter and the Moon in Cancer. One of the two, but it's an extremely rare and powerful configuration. All of this Cancer energy on top of Jupiter, which is expansion. You're experiencing an expansion of just community, your hearth, relationships, and that's highly important. Right now is the portal where divine soul family is being recognized and called forth once more. If you're experiencing a lot of people coming back into your reality and they're operating on a framework of respect or just genuinely acknowledging your soul for where you are and uplifting you, pay attention. These are people who are going to be a big part of your journey. As I got up this morning, I had actually planned on catching the bus to work late. I know that sounds irresponsible, but I was trusting my soul and my intuition because usually when I take the beaten path, I acquire a lot of gnosis and knowledge. But instead, this morning, a good friend, one of the parents at the daycare I work, he hit me up and he was like, "Yo, you need a ride? I got you on breakfast too." I'm like, "Okay, cool." For real, for real. So it's like at this time, the people that are being pulled forward, front and present in your life, confirmation, really loud confirmation. These are the people that are going to be in your life for potentially a lifetime, if not for many, many cycles. This is the establishment of the spiritual kingdom on earth. We are the priesthood of the new age. So it's very important that you tap into being vulnerable, stepping out into the collective more, and expressing your voice, especially dropping comments. It doesn't take any time at all to drop a comment. A little message of encouragement, acknowledgement, anything. It's a big way to spread energy amongst the collective and usher forth that new relationship and community. So, the new age has a blueprint for what a healthy spiritual family looks like. If you resonate with this message, though, feel free to like, share, comment, follow, and tap into my content. Leave comments. This is the start of a new family, officially. My Lion family. Ashe.